Wait a minute, real estate prices aren't going down? I'm about to show you guys what's happening with real estate and what's happening in real estate, and I'm even going to show you some stats that even realtors don't have access to. Talk to you soon. What's up guys, it's Kirk Fornia here from the Just Shout Wilma team. Number one in Halton on ratemyagent.com. I think we are number 4 in all of Ontario, number 13 in Canada, and thank you so much for leaving us 5-star reviews on ratemyagent.com to get us those rankings. Again, ratemyagent.com, it's a site that verifies the reviews so you know they're real, unlike other platforms like Google. Anyway, getting into the content, this nice little graph right up here, this shows you what's been happening with median prices. Now, just first, this is the last 2 years, by the way. This is going all the way to the beginning of 2021 for a reason that I'll get to. But first of all, things that I'm not going to be talking about because they're not very helpful are year-over-year stats. Frankly, who cares about year-over-year? Like this December versus last December is what you might be seeing being posted by some realtors on social media. It doesn't really tell you what is happening right now. And that's what you care about, what's happening right now. If you zoom way out, yes, real estate prices are going up, right? But when you zoom in, they're going like this, right? And this is the part that we care about because those are actionable stats. Stats that is really going to affect what you're doing right now. The other thing we're not going to talk about is sales volume. I think sales volume is just dependent on so many other variables. You're going to hear on the news, sales volume is down. Well, if there's less supply on the market, sales volume will go down. The number of homes that are selling will go down. In fact, if supply is lower, so volume is down, that very much could mean that prices are going up because it's all relative to demand. So the volume doesn't include a lot of information that we need to know. So it's very great for sensationalizing the news because you get to say down, sales are down, and everyone goes, oh, prices are down. No. By sales, they're talking about the number. So this is actually what you care about. This is what's been happening with prices, and specifically here, I mean, I look at many different segments. This is specifically detached homes in Halton. I find it's a good kind of an indicator that I use for other segments but I do track individually regions like Peel, Hamilton, Toronto as well, right? But this is what we're going to be looking at today. And when you look at all these different regions, it's pretty much the same trend. And what you can see here, the main thing I would say that you're noticing is that the prices, the median prices we're at today are back down to where they were at the beginning of 2021. So you hear all this, oh, the market's crashing, prices have come down 25%. But that's not the complete story unless you explain, well, prices went up like a huge amount between like around the October 2021 to February 2022 point. They went up a huge amount and then they came back down to where they were before. So when you realize the full story, you realize, take out that little chunk and prices have actually been very stable, right? And if you look at the tail end of this graph, you can see it's actually been pretty stable since the end of the summer. So that's where, I bring in another graph. This is where I zoom in even closer. Now that you understand what's happened in the market, you understand you had this huge shoot up, just because supply was super low and they were talking about how rates might, go up. And so people were like, if I'm going to buy, now's the time, because we're not sure that prices will go down, but we're sure that rates will go up. So everyone jumped in and that caused a huge surge in prices. And you look at, that huge peak there that's, at the beginning of 2022. And, in January, there was like 150 homes for sale in the whole region of Halton. Today, we're sitting at a pretty healthy, we're in the 500s. And that's pretty good considering, in like July and August, the total supply got up over 1,000. So in 2022, the story of 2022 is we went from supply of 150 homes in the whole region, 150 went up to 1,100. So it went from 150 to over 1,000. So yeah, of course prices came down because supply was just shooting up through the roof. And it builds, right? Like, oh, prices are going down, I better sell now, which causes supply to go up even more. So it's really more of a panic rather than fundamentals revealing themselves, is what I would say. And then you see that bottom in what appears to be in August. Well, that's when supply stopped going up. Surprise, surprise. So you can see how it all comes back to supply and demand. So supply, in December, it went down around 50% of where it was at in August. That's a huge drop. Went from, over 1,000 down into the low 500s. And now supply is starting to pick back up, but it's still only in the 500s as far as total homes for sale in Halton. So now we zoom in and you can see the tail end of 2022. You can see what's been happening in the last 3 months. And that's what we care about. We care about the most recent trend. Because like many markets, even though we shouldn't really, people do what's called trend trading. So they go, what is the trend? Because if the trend is up, then I feel comfortable buying. If the trend is not up, then I'm not so sure. And no, a trend doesn't indicate that, prices will definitely be going up. Right? We can't say that. We really should be looking at what are the main variables going into 2023. And, overall, with the amount of immigration we have and the limited supply we have, I think it's safe to say that prices have to keep going up. But what's happening in the short term is people look at those trends. So when you look at this trend here, what does it look like? It's a little bit, it's a modest increase, right? From that bottom in August up to a higher point now. Now going into January, it's a little bit too early to tell what is the trend for prices. My guess is that they'll be pretty stable, but prices could go up. This is what brings me to my next stat, which is like my special stat that no one else has. I know because I had to create it myself using figures from different systems. And I am proud to bring you showings per listing. Showings per listing. So that really tells you how much demand is out there, but you have to do it per listing. That's the key. That's to create the full picture. Because if you just have showings, it doesn't tell you much, because low showings could be because of low supply, right? So showings per listing. And what you can see is what you would think. During Christmas, showings per listing dropped down to like 1 showing per listing. And now we're back up, getting close to 2 showings per listing. Keep in mind, this figure is an average, and so it's dragged down by listings that are getting 0 showings, right? So you got to keep that in mind. There's lots of listings where no analysis was done. They went up at some crazy number, and no one is going to see the property, and it's just sitting there, right? That's what's dragging But, our listings are actually, I think one of my listings, it had 15 showings in the first week of January. So that's 15 showings per listing. So you can see this average is so low because a lot of listings are getting 0 because pricing is very difficult. Realtors aren't really trained in pricing strategy, and it's only very rudimentary what realtors are trained for as far as appraisals. So the pricing is all over the place, right? But all of our listings are getting good activity, and a lot more activity than I would have, expected, especially relative back to just recently in the last couple of months. Okay, what's the next topic here? Well, that's pretty much it that I have for you in this update. I'm so sorry that I can't release the videos more frequently. 97% of realtors are selling 4 homes or less in the last 12 months. I know, isn't that crazy? Well, Wilma and I and the team, Holly and Guy, we tend to do more around the 70 to 90 range. So that's what puts us top in our brokerage, top 1% in the country, that kind of thing. And that's why we're experts, because you become an expert in something that you do frequently, right? So what I would like you guys to do, however, is, considering I might not get all to these, let me know which ones you would want as far as a video on the next one. Comment below. So we're talking about potential topics would be, should you buy or sell first? Do rate hikes make prices go down? And lastly, specifically in the GTA, should you buy or should you rent? The buy rent one is an interesting one because it really depends on the area. So stuff that you get on Google, stuff that you read online, it might not apply to you. And that's the key to this information that I'm giving to you guys today, is if you live in the West GTA, this is all specifically for you. This is not random stuff for North America or for Canada, right? And lastly, please subscribe to this video. That means that you'll get pinged when I release a new video about one of these interesting topics. And as always, feel free to reach out to me or Wilma or someone in the team. We're always happy to help you, and we're always available. That's the beauty of having 4 years for the price of 1. 4 of us helping you at all times. Talk to you soon and keep safe.